My bad, part two. Part two. I made the press pause, but we're gonna start with the listen, watching staring at me. See, white people need to mind their business. That pays them. Don't stop and stare. Why keep it moving? You're supposed to be looking at books, not other people's business. Okay, we're gonna start with the princess of this. I'm gonna get bring my microphone. The princess of this is kind of like the beginner energy, like I was saying, and it was cause for you to have patience, even though you feel like even though the failure card is it's just about like having patience, and the knight brings a lot of emotional depth, and the knight of swords is about fast action and maybe a bit of impulsiveness. So it was asking you to balance that practical groundwork, practice ground yourself. So he's all about like fast action. So do the groundwork with some emotional courage and decisive actions. Now what's coming up for you as you look at them, we have the Queen of Cups and the luxury and the interference and the ruin. So it's kind of like an emotional tone right here. The Queen of Cups in reverse indicate emotional overwhelming or maybe a difficult trusting your intuition. The Four of Cups often points to a sense of dissatisfactions or missing an opportunity. The Eight of Swords is feeling a bit of being trapped in your own thoughts. And the Ten of Swords is kind of a heavy finish. It's like something ending, maybe a cycle reached as a painful conclusion. So it can feel pretty heavy, especially with the Ten of Swords at the ending, but also a reminder that this is a closure from here. You might have a chance to break free from a mental trap. Then right here we have the Three of Swords, the Priestess, the Hermit, and the Death card. Now with that, it's kind of a pretty powerful set. Now the Three of Swords, it means like that heartbreak or a heavy emotional weight is there. But then the Priestess and the Hermit, it's like a deep inward journey, a call for the intuition and solitude. And then the Death card, wow, is a transformation. So it feels like all these successes and victories might be calling you to release something old and step into a new chapter. So let's ground this a bit. If we tie this all together, the heartbreak, the isolation, the Three of Swords right here, the Hermit, the Death, pointing toward a bigger inner shift. What it has to do with probably is how you process this transition, letting go of the old experiences so you can fully step into transformation. If you open, that success and change might come from that deep inner work. So let me lay it all out for you. As a whole, it really looks like a journey, you know. It starts with the momentum, those victory cards, and then moves through a steady growth, patience, and even some emotional highs and lows, and deep introspection with the priestess and the hermit. Plus, the death card at the end tells me that you're closing a chapter, but being called to transform something big. So the whole arc is about navigating success, emotional depth, and ultimately, let's see, through steady growth and patience, and even some emotional highs and lows, and a deep introspection. The priestess and the hermit, the death card at the end tells you you're closing a chapter, but you're being like called to something big. So like I was saying, the whole arc of success and emotional depth ultimately is a big personal rebirth. And one thing I would say is that with all these nights on here, we got a lot of movement and energy. So though there is introspection, the collective is not passive at all. You moving. The Queen of Cups, the Four of Cups tell me that there is some emotional revelation. Like, don't rush, but really tune into what fulfills you. And the Death card, yeah, it's a big change, but it's also a chance to disentangle from something that's been really limiting you. So the process, and let yourself be guided by the inner wisdom. Alright, so that's part 2. Sorry, I felt the energy that I needed to stop, but I meant to hit pause. So this is part 2 to the other part. So I hope this helps. It helped me. So I hope it helps you. Oh.